Can you guys all see the white screen? The whiteboard that I have up there with the player numbers and everything?
Yep.
Okay. All right, more coming in. I see that the chat, I think somebody's saying something. If one of the coaches can be my voice, that'd be great there.
We're all just saying, yeah, they can see it.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right, we have 19 people. We're going to be starting. I'll wait one more minute and then we're going to start. We got some good subjects we talked about yesterday, some of the pro guys. I got a couple messages from players today. Kate sent me some good subjects, so I kind of mixed it up and edited together. So hopefully I can answer some of you guys' questions. Can you guys hear me clearly? I was yelling at my boys yesterday, so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me clearly.
Yep.
Yeah, they can hear you.
That never happens. All right. Okay, I'm starting. Hopefully more people are going to join. It's recording right now as well. We're going to be going over some of the subjects. Can you guys see me in the picture too as well on the corner?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Looks good.
All right, so one of the first subjects we're going to be talking about is the checking your surroundings, okay? So we want to make sure you guys understand what that means. I think that's a big problem for our players. Our coaches several times brought it up to me. Our players several times brought it up to me. And it's really important that we kind of go over this. So a lot of people don't realize it literally takes almost less than a second for you to be aware of your surroundings, for your body to respond to it. So before I get the ball as a player, if you guys can see me, I know you are probably looking at the whiteboard right now, but look at me for a sec. Just a quick shoulder check is enough to be aware of where your players are. Even though you're not thinking like, oh, I need to remember who's there, who's not. You don't really need to think about it, really. You'll get better at it by just doing it. So what happens with that is your brain actually registers that information quicker than you do. So when you check your shoulders, when you're aware there's a player on your right side, when the ball is coming to you, your response, automatic response, reflexes will be going to the other side. And unfortunately, because we don't check our shoulders and not aware of where our surroundings are and where the pressure might be coming from, we make a lot of these mistakes. So does that fix the problem? No. A lot of players, unfortunately, they repeat this problem and they just need to make sure that they work on the shoulder check, they work on checking their surroundings and start responding it to the right way too. So some players, it's a natural thing. Like I said, I check my shoulder, I know there's a guy there. So my first touch, I'm gonna go this way. And I'm also, because I've been doing it so many years and I played at a high level, the pressure was so high. So what happens with me is when I check my shoulder, I know where the defender is coming from. I also see my player too, right? So you get to a point that you will touch the ball away from the player and be able to know where to pass next as well. So you start planning things very quick in your mind. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that you do this right. So a lot of times this is what happens. The player, now we go on the whiteboard, the player center mid is about to pass the ball, okay? And this number 9 right here, you guys can see, is looking at the player and the pressure is coming from here. If he knows where it is, his first touch will not go this way. If he's aware of him, and usually you need to put an arm on the player when you're sideways. That's why one of the things that I want to make sure you guys understand, you do not look your whole body towards this guy, just your face and side of your body sideways is on the player, arm on the player, and the other side looking at the player, but also aware of where the defender is coming from. And you're constantly checking your back, right? So when the pass comes to this area, obviously you're going to open the game to the other side. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So another thing.
Yep.
So number 10 is dribbling into the space. This is my favorite thing about my players. And he sees this space right here towards the goal. The goal will be around here somewhere, let's just say. Towards the goal. And my outside mid is making a run this way. We see this all the time. All the time. They're giving us this. So as an outside player, you need to be able to see the vision of that pass as well. So how do you do this? Exactly the same idea, checking your shoulders. Where is everybody? I look for a second. I look at my player and I looked at what their defense is giving me. So what do? I looked at my number 10 and I looked at my left, in this case, number 11's left, and I saw the two players. And I saw there's a big gap to where the ball is and where the ball is looking at, and the space the two players is giving me. Does that make sense? So what am I going to do? Then I'm not going to go wide anymore. I'm going to make diagonal run this way to the shoulder of the player. The ball is released here, and you make a diagonal run, and you are one-on-one with the keeper yourself as an outside player. Does that make sense? So it's all about checking your shoulders, checking where everybody is. And like I said to you, a lot of players don't do this, sadly, because they think your brain is not registering. Like, you're like, I'm not that quick. I'm not that smart in soccer to remember that. Trust me, your brain is a lot quicker about registering information than you are. Okay? So, like, if somebody tells you they're going to throw a ball at you, you're going to be like scared. Oh my God, am I going to be able to catch it? But sometimes the ball is coming at you from nowhere, and last second you see it and you respond to it. It's a reflex. Okay? It's new. Now you get the information, you're gathering the information. It's a reflex that might come from there. You're watching a tennis match, baseball match. You have a reflex, you have information that ball might be coming towards your way. That information stays in your mind. You're thinking about it or not. So the same idea with that, when the player has the ball and looking at you, you check the player, and 1 second you check behind you real quick, right shoulder, left shoulder, and now you're checking into space, and that usually gives you a little bit of time to. Now that's a big point. When you are moving towards the ball, that can give you a little extra second to check your shoulder even more, instead of waiting where you are. Because when you're waiting where you are, you kind of need to be looking at either the player a lot longer or the passer a lot longer. But when you're moving towards it, you have more time to check around, and you know the ball is going to come from there. So that's going to be a good position to be. So when is the most important time? Let's just ask it this way. The checking your shoulders is important to every single player, including keeper, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a quiet room. So who is it, what position is it the most important? Checking your shoulders.
Center mid.
Center mid is important. Why?
He's in the middle of all the chaos.
Okay. What else? And what position is he facing? The question, I think, also, how is he receiving the ball? Is he facing his own goal, or is he attacking forward? Which one is more important? You checking your shoulder.
Facing your own
Going.
goal.
Yeah.
Facing your own goal. Why?
Because you cannot see the pressure coming to you.
Exactly. That's it. So the most important is when you're facing your own goal, you don't know where the pressure is going to come from. So you got to constantly check your shoulders, and you need to be kind of sideways. when you're going to receive the ball. If you're always receiving the ball facing the player straight on, you might not be in a good body shape. If you are a very smart number 10, you can do that because you already know who's where. You know, I can check in. I played a number 10, I played a number 6 or 8 before. I can check in. Before I check in, though, I already checked where players behind me are. So in the next 2 seconds, my response time is this. I know there's a guy behind me. I know he's on my left. And I'm checking for the ball and asking for the ball because I already checked it. So now my response, I already know where he is. My response is going to be going to somewhere else. Okay? So it is important, the most important, for the players who's facing their own goal. So who are they? Could be center mids. One of the most important players is who?
I feel you want to say center backs, but
Forward. Because forward is always facing his own goal, right? When we are starting an attack. So he needs to constantly check where everybody is because we're going to be talking about this in a bit too. Utilizing the forward is critical in your possession and starting an attack. Like, we would like to go wide every single time to start an attack, but if they're already defending the wide, then we need to do something else. Does that make sense?
That's good.
Okay. Is somebody throwing there? That's not me. Was that somebody doing that? All right, I cleared that. All right, I'm gonna go to okay. All right, we're gonna go to this screen. Let me know if you guys can see it real quick. Not yet, not yet, not yet. All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so here is my dilemma with this. So we are the red team, we're attacking. And unfortunately, so if they're attacking this way, we're gonna be having a defensive line really compact this way, correct? So unfortunately, a lot of times I see the player showing up literally straight behind this player. Or the player is dribbling this way and the forward is checking in between the two players and then they're saying to me, hey, Daji, you told me to check in between two players. Is that
Too late.
the two players that I'm talking about in this case?
No.
Who is it? Where is it?
Should be to the left side
So
or to
because
our right side.
this is where the ball is looking at, right? So you stay in the vision of the ball. So now there's a lot of opportunities that come with that. Because you're not waiting there, you suddenly move there, you get the ball, you can open the game to the other side because they're going to be more compact when the ball is coming that way, right? They're going to be sliding this way. You can open the game to the other side and start an attack. Or if you get the ball and quickly one-touch pass it to this player, you can open the game for him and the back post guy, and as well as you can have a counter attack quickly and catch them off guard to score a goal. Staying in the vision in our system is critical. Now, there are systems you do not have to, you can hide here. Your job is only being a poacher and or finishing inside the box, so you just stay in the center, do nothing. And sometimes we might ask you to do that. But when you want to possess the ball and you want to make, again, I'm going to ask you this. Please answer. The forward, the center mid is looking this way. Forward moving to this area right here. What does that do for us and to the other team.
You take more players with you.
More players with you.
Yeah, pulls the
Good answer.
defense.
What else?
Obviously, open the space when you take people with you.
Yep. Anything else? You take players with you. I'm looking for a different answer. These are good answers, by the way. They are right answers.
Yeah, as the player shipped over with you, it opens up the other side also.
So as a team, we're messing up their shape. So my response to that, me moving this way, is going to reflect to this player, that player, and this player as a team. And this player and that player as well. Correct? When we get the ball right here, it's going to mess up their shape. They have to. By the way, that was a coach. I don't want to name, but he was coaching Everett High School and Everett Community College back in the day. And he said this to me, well, then we stay wide. We just stay open. We don't have to follow him. The dumbest answer I've heard, and I've been to many coaches' clinics, like many licensing, and I've never heard that before. So thank God we have amazing coaches in our college systems. So let's see. If they don't respond to this, when the player made a run there, the player is just going to let it go and start moving towards the goal. That's it. I mean, that's the clear, because they're not standing there. You're going to a run to an open space. So you can actually make that pass, and sometimes they might not. And if they don't, that's perfect for us, because then we can score an easy goal. Does that make sense? So your team shape needs to be moving towards that. So the moment he moves there, this guy's going to go here. This guy's going to step to this guy. He's going to slide. He's going to slide. So what is our choice then? Either one touch to here, or my favorite of we see, open the game, beat them to this side, mess up their shape, either pass it here or pass it here, and start an attack. Okay? Any questions about this one? Guys, and listen. So a lot of players have a mistake with this too. They're here. The player is looking central right now. And they move just a little bit, and they feel like, they can see the player in this area. So they're feeling like they're open. This happens a lot to our forwards, unfortunately. It's not enough. So you need to be, we say, about 5 yards away from the player's reach. So in this case, doing the math, you should be around here. Does that make sense? So you're out of the reach of the player. So when you come in here, you're out of the reach of that pass. And I'm going to tell you this straight up. When I pass the ball, even if my player is lazy, sorry, it didn't move. Even if I'm like, let's just say this is one of my forwards, even they're lazy and standing straight behind the player, I'm still going to pass the ball right here. And I do. Why?
Be safe.
That's where the space is.
That's what the space is, and that's what the soccer logic requires. Doesn't matter what position you play, you are not going to lose this ball immediately. You try to do this, he steals that ball, counterattack right away. This is the space. So even if he's not going to win this ball, it's not going to be lost in this danger area right here, right? It's going to be lost here, and we can still press to that and still try to steal that ball. Where you lose the ball is critical. This is why I was yelling at some of my center mids last night. They are trying to do heel passes and do tricky stuff right here. right here. And there is no cover. My other center mid should be here. If you're gonna try to beat the player, or you lost the ball and you're about to be one-on-one with the player, every time your other center mid should be in an angle like that. And this goes to every single position in the field. Whoever is stepping, the other one is going back towards the center like that. Do you see that movement? So I'm going to show you, hold on for a second. I'm going to show you right here. So right here, right? 2 versus 2 situation. Okay. This player steps, leads him outside. This player comes back to center. Ball comes there. He steps, lead him outside. You see I'm leading him outside? He comes back to center here. Don't mark this guy. This doesn't help you. Yes, like some parents or soccer fans yelling at you, step to him, he's going to pass to him. If this player is not intelligent, he's going to pass to him and you can steal it. Yes. So at a low level, that's going to work. So low level coaching, low level teams, this is going to work. So they're going to encourage you to do that. But when you start playing against players, and that's what I want to train my players as, this player, we're considering him to be an intelligent player. We can't give the space behind. This is where you need to make sure that you don't give. Ball goes there, you step, don't overcommit, you commit here, he beats you right away, he's gone. And you come back to the center. Let's put a 4 players versus 3. Ball goes up there, he steps, lead him out, they slide this way. Ball goes all the way up there, he steps, they come deep all the way to the center. Do you see that angle? This is the angle that's drawn. Ball goes here, closest person is who? Number 3. This 2 slides, now we created a triangle. Ball goes up there, who's the closest? Most of the time, unfortunately, this is a mistake. Because this player is kind of close, they assume they need to make that run. But that's destroying our shape, kind of. It's much easier for this player to step and you cover that way. Much easier for us. Because it's an immediate give and go situation. You don't give that. Watch what I'm talking about. So he's here, right? So ball is going there from this player to here. If he runs here and he does a quick give and go, that's going to be a lot more opening for that area than versus he's already here, pass goes, he's stepping, that takes a while, right? And we are so deep, it's better to be in a deep position in this case than getting caught here. Does that make sense? In a defensive shape. It is different if your pressure, these 3 players, are offensive pressure. Now, pay attention to this real quick. Let's just say this is the left back, and this is the center back, this is the center back, and the left back of the other team. And this guy has the ball. So what we want to do in offensive, left forward steps, like center forward steps, right forward comes all the way here. Do you see this is different now, different shape? It's an opposite triangle. Why? Because we can take more risks in the offensive side. We can, because if we steal this ball, we could score an immediate goal right away. And it's not going to be an immediate goal to us. Remember that 2 differences. If we lose the ball up there, it's not going to be an immediate goal to us. But it could create an immediate goal against them for us. So that's why the pressure shape 2-1 versus defensive shape 1 and 2 triangles. Please ask a question about that. That's an important subject, folks. I'm waiting for any comment, any subject, and I'm gonna go back to the other screen. I think somebody put something in the chat.
Yeah, Jeff commented that that was a good thing to explain.
Okay. Anything else?
Looks like Madison wrote something. Oh, Madison said, what soccer terms should we use when attacking?
Good question. So when this player, for example, is making a run, through, right? Through, because between 1 and 2 players right here. And if this player wants to let that player go, through as well. Or maybe he's kind of lazy and he wants to stay wide, and we pass it wide. Drop, and we drop it not towards the center, this is what a lot of you guys do, and then this player in the blind spot comes and steals the ball from you and goes for a quick attack. When you go for a wider drop, you can kind of see what's coming. Your vision, I'll show you, your vision is seeing all these areas. And if you're wider, right? If you're wider, you can even see even deeper, right? These areas right here, all the way up here. You have the whole vision to open the game and do whatever you need to do in the field. Okay, so drop wide, through, diagonal, wide, through ball, right? Asking for a through ball, or sometimes the center mid asks for the forward to give him a through ball chance. A question. Let's see how many of you guys are smart enough to answer this one. There is one reason for a center mid who beats the player here, or let's go with this way. He beats the player here and he's moving this way to the side. And he asks for a through ball. One reason, because he wants to give the through ball. He wants somebody there so they can open the game or they can go to goal, whatever. What is the other reason why a center mid, number 8, number 10, number 6, could be asking for a through ball?
He sees a further pass, or he sees the next pass.
Yeah. That's a good one. He sees the next pass. So the next pass that this guy will give, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Or, because we already said he sees this pass, that's why he's asking for a through ball. What else? Mahmoud, this is your position.
Yes, coach. I'm thinking. So if I get the example right, you're saying why would the midfielder ask for a through pass in the middle?
And he asks, one reason we gave is what? Because he wants somebody there.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to give it to him. And maybe he can do give and go, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What else?
We had a comment to make a run.
What does that mean exactly? Who is it?
I think that was Riley.
Riley, what do you mean by make a run? Because that could be what I'm looking for.
A third man run.
It's like a goal scoring opportunity, like recognizing that maybe.
Okay. So what if Mahmoud and Rafa and me as a player, sometimes I like to dribble in and score, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if I ask for a through ball and I don't pass it right away, what is going to happen to the center mids?
Be
You're going to cause
compact.
them to compact.
So they're going to be expecting that pass. And that's when I beat them. So I can use it for two things. I can use my communication to give the pass, use that communication for my sake, or I can use that communication to make the defensive line respond so I can use it against them. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
So I
Yes,
don't know if you
coach.
guys realize that, but sometimes I do that. Let's just say, I'm going to give you an example. Hopefully you guys remember in play. So let's just say Momodo asks for the ball. Okay? And I'm aware Momodo is there, correct? I know. I saw it. So I didn't pass to him right away. Why would I not do that? So number one, I'm dumb and I'm just gonna try to do it really late. And by the time I do pass it to him, the defense is already on the guy and they steal the ball from me. I'm kind of soccer dumb and I did that mistake. But why would I plan to do that?
I think you wanted to pull a defender out to come to you so you can open more space.
Maybe. Yes, we talked about that already. We said that already. What about this? So I know that Momodu was open and he wanted the ball. What if I don't give it to him because I see that he's already marked close, right? What if I dribble a little bit wider and I start talking to my right mid? So who's my right mid? Rogelio. I say, Rogelio, go wide. When I say Rogelio, go wide, what's going to happen here?
Take attention off of Mamadou.
Exactly. This is when Momodu should be smart enough to run that. Now, here's what happens to us. Momodu, if you're watching this, I apologize. But when I do this sometimes on purpose, you are completely watching, okay, he's going to give it to Rogelio. If I make something that obvious, and any of you guys that want to play number 6, number 8, if you make it so obvious and you wait more than 2 seconds, you should not be passing to that player anymore. That's it. Simple as it is. So I say that, go wide, the defender is going to go to him, he's going to start sliding this way, that's going to be opening more way. I could even see here. I could see here. So sometimes I am going to use that. I'm going to use that to make sure that I can take the attention off the player. So how many of you guys can confidently say you use communication to mess up the defensive line of the other team? Forget about messing up the other team. We don't even talk to each other about normal passing. See, Jeff's picture is smiling already.
That's true.
It's just, I'm saying, like, I'm just looking at Jeff's picture right now with that comment because I can see him smile just like that right now. Because the idea is this, guys, we need to make sure we open the communication. This is a big weakness for us. And one of the problems is it's not about our training. We've been encouraging it every practice. It's about how confident you are about yourself. Because quiet players don't show confidence. Like when you walk into a field, if you're confident and you're communicating with players, they trust you automatically. They start respecting you automatically. You don't need to be bossy. I know some of you guys make a big mistake, especially in girls soccer. Girls soccer players, They do not want to be loud because they don't want to upset others. They do not want to sound like they're bossy, they're mean. They don't want to sound like that. But that's not helping your soccer, and that's not helping your teammates. You are not doing a favor to your teammates by not talking and communicating. Exact opposite. You are letting yourself and the rest of the players fail. Like you're in Titanic and you see the iceberg coming and you're like, if I'm loud now, I might annoy some people. Well, you're all gonna die in the next hour if you don't tell them that the iceberg is coming. So that's your choice. So I always say dying is a little bit extreme, but the point is you're gonna lose the game. You are not gonna be successful with the outcome of that result as much as you would have been. So sometimes you guys win games without communication and you're like, oh yeah, we can do it without it. You can't do it without a team who knows what they're doing and they are the one that communicates. I remember coaching a high school game, and this was literally, I won Coach of the Year twice in a row with Cascade High School. Next year after I went to Glacier Peak, and I have better talent at Glacier Peak. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna win the state easy. And we walked a couple games. We did really well. We win some games at the beginning, and we faced this team, and two of their best players is my private lessons, and they were trained by me for 6 years to be loud and demanding, and they came to the field, and they were like joking around with me, and I'm joking around with them that we're gonna beat them, they're gonna beat me, whatever. And right off the bat, like the pre-game training they were doing, warm-ups, both those boys are loud, demanding. The rest of the captains in that team was demanding, loud. And I'm like, we're in trouble. I'm looking at my team at the time, they're all, because that was our first year as a school, Glacier Peak, we had only sophomores. We're quiet, we're scared. I'm like, this is not, like, I did not say that to my players, but this is not going to be a good game for us. It shows right away, right off the bat, when a team is quiet and the other team is vocal and confident and they're loud, they're demanding, they want to communicate, it's not a good sign, right off the bat. So it's critical that we understand that we need to start communicating about tricking the players. I gave you guys good examples there. Tricking the other team. Making your team go to exactly where you want, but you don't have a lot of time when you say that. When you communicate, you have 1 second. So they better be there, or they better respond to what you want from them. Okay? Because if you wait that long, you should automatically think, please write this down somewhere. If you wait too long after you communicate or after you look at somebody, use that waiting too long against the other team, not against yourself. And many times, our players, especially our center mids, they're like, I want to give this pass. I see Rogelio running. I want to give this pass. I want to give this pass. No matter what's going to happen, I'm going to give this pass. I'm going to give this pass. They're like compact. They're coming back. They're closing that gap, and you still give that pass. They're ready for it. So I'm not going to say it might not work. But what are your chances? What is the chance? What is the percentage that you have that is going to work every single time? Don't go for the glory pass if it's just going to be one time out of 100. Go for the glory pass that's going to be effective and should be scored on almost every single time. Question the technique of the forward, why he's not scoring. Don't give him a ball that he has to do so much work to get to position that he needs to score. I hope you understand what I just said there. It's a big point. I'm going to wait quick questions. Any questions real quick?
Sammy just commented to be looking for the drop at that point.
If you don't have the pass, yes, that's why this is why, it's a great question, Sammy. This is why I don't want my center mid, the other center mid to be here. I want him deeper to be able to see. Look, this is a common 4-4-2 dilemma. This happens a lot with 4-4-2, unfortunately. So, because everybody and their dogs train on this, they want to do square balls forever. Square, square. Give me a square ball, square ball. Okay. Now, here's why a lot of the possession teams in the world that is very successful about possession is getting rid of that square ball unless, and I'm going to give you an example about that, unless it's necessary. So in this setup, I'm going to give you the blue line, pressure points. These are the pressure points of the blue line, right? Pressure points, blue line, pressure point, blue line, pressure point, blue line, pressure point, correct? These are the pressure points of the blue line. So when this player backs up versus here, now I'm going to show you guys the vision. Let's go with white. So this player is about to pass to him. The eyes of this player is looking that way, correct? Is he able to see what's coming from here, 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 even here, maybe here, 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 here? Is he able to see any of them?
No.
Answer?
No.
No.
How many times do you guys keep doing this in our training sessions? And I have to yell, go deeper. Now, what is the vision of the player? And I would go a little bit wider even. Why? So you can eliminate most of the opposite side field so you can see what's coming from there. Yes, the only blind spot you have now is here versus all these blind spots. Because you're already looking at here, right? Look at the, I'm going to make yellow this one. So you're looking at the ball. You see here, your body is facing here. So you can see when your body is facing right here, you can see all these angles. So when the pass comes to you, okay, I'm sorry. When the pass comes to you, you can easily, like, because if the ball is there, trust me, the defensive line is going to be right here, compact. They're going to be stepping to you. So when the ball comes to you, you can easily open the game to the opposite side to space. And that's exactly what we want. We need to stop going to the same side over and over again, especially when we realize they're starting to defend this side. You want to be able to catch them off guard by bomb. Now, what is that going to see? This is my another pet peeve. So I passed that ball. Mahmoud gave a great pass to Terrace. Terrace is running in, and they are recovering. This guy is trying to make it to this guy so he doesn't attack. This guy is trying to cover the center. The best placement, catch him off guard, is back post to this guy. But a lot of times we just wait for the forward to arrive there. If there is no forward there, you can still catch him off guard to the opposite side. If this guy is nowhere to be found because he's a lazy bum, then you got to wait for the forward to arrive to the place. Another problem that comes with that, we need to make sure that our forwards, center forwards, stay in the central positions as much as they can. Problem comes with this. This guy gets the ball, and our forward is making a diagonal run here. In a forward system, we don't need that. We don't need that because we have one center forward there. Stay in the center. Let somebody else give a drop. And this guy is going to be covering this guy, right? I'm going to clear this so you guys can see clearly. He gives the drop. Now they're going to be recovering, right? They're going to be running back here. He has to watch the ball, so you need to sneak into that blind spot. If this player is coming here, then go behind him. Blind spot behind him. And this player needs to start making a run to back post. And somebody, outside mid hopefully can give a drop here So this player can step instead. But if he is not there and this guy steps, right? This is when we're going to talk about opposite side. The mid should be here in this gap. I mean, outside mid should be stepping all the way here to this gap because this player is here. But if the outside mid gives this, say that I got the drop, then this guy needs to run in outside the box, and you can stay right around here. Any questions about that? Guys?
What's more important? Crossing as soon as you can, or trying to penetrate and create space and basically penetrate deeper?
Well, if we got in the original, remember what I said originally, if we catch him off guard to this space right here, catch him off guard to pass the ball right away. If this player coming from the opposite side, because what happened is this, we opened the game, so let's just say the ball was here, the whole defensive line starts sliding that way, right? The defensive line went that way. And the moment we opened the game quickly to this side, now they're recovering to this way. They're all going that way. So the best way to get him off guard is to immediately pass the ball to the opposite side, and you can have a clear shot there right away. This is the immediate goal, the quickest goal. But if the player is nowhere to be found, don't assume he's going to be there. And if he's not there, you got to have to wait for the cross. This is, do you remember yesterday a couple times I yelled at the outside mid, a keyword? When I knew I was here in this position and I saw one of my players trying to beat everybody and going towards, and he beat the player and he's about to cross and we have nobody inside. What did I say?
Cut back.
Cut back. Or not yet.
Yeah.
Cut back. Cut back. Why do I say cut back? Because there is nothing there yet. So that's an important subject. Like Maddie was asking about some of the offensive communication. Cut back. I say that not because I want you to beat this player, because we don't have anything here.
Okay.
And how many of you guys actually can see that? Can look inside and say, oh my God, there's nobody there. Don't pass to me. You know what's so sad about that? Was that Devin that asked that question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's sad about that, Devin, is the player who's supposed to be there, the center forward, who is not there, he's not saying that he's not there.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
So if Momodou is not in the right spot and he sees this guy, Rogelio is about to cross it, and he's out here somewhere and he's not saying nothing, am I going to be in the game? No. I'm going to yell, but I might not be seeing this from the angle I'm at. My bench might be here and players might be blocking my way. Maybe I don't see there is nobody in here. Who is it that's supposed to speak to him? Not yet. I'm not there yet. Don't cross it yet. Let's get it forward.
Yeah, that's true.
So the key players who is supposed to communicate is not. But yesterday and the last month and a half, there has been more communication about what they want. Like Mahmoud, Rafa, Momodou sometimes. Dylan is really good at this. Isaac in defense. They're too good right now. They're not here right now, but they don't need to learn, I guess. But they are actually communicating better and better about what they want. And when they communicate that, they look better and their teammates look better. So that's a key thing. Coach, is there anything you want to add to that or you want to say about that? You see, or you want me to add to that?
I'll say that, yeah, communication, it could be any of the other players on the field should see that happening. When that guy is wide and he's going to cross it in, anybody should be able to communicate to that player and say, it's not there. Play it back.
There,
Possess.
cut back.
You know, don't
Yeah.
just force it in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's many different communications you can use. Not yet. Cut back. No one is inside is a little longer, right? We don't want to use that one. We could say, what else? Drop. You know, you could just, if you see somebody up there, you can say drop. And that way they're aware. But another problem that comes to mind. If the communication is becoming better, what is the next important thing?
To make sure you listen to what they're saying.
Exactly. Listening. That's another problem. I literally, like, let's just say, oh, that was bad. All right. I literally come in here, ask for the ball, and I tell the player, give and go. So because I see this player is going to step to that pass, okay? So I tell this player, give and go, because what I want to do is I'm going to drop it back to him. So when he's running, he sees this next pass to open space more. And I tell him, I literally yell at him, give and go, because I see that there is a player. And my player wants to give this pass right away, and this player steps and steals the ball because they don't want to listen. Another thing that is very, very important, sometimes players say, Daji, well, you're always talking. Sometimes I want to make sure that, yes, you can make your decisions. And you have another idea. That's great. But I'm going to tell you this. My rule is not just my rule. Coaches used to say this to us when I played the highest level. Whoever wants the ball so bad might see the next pass, might be having an idea, an opinion that is better than you. It's especially the excitement level of that communication. So if I'm just coming here and say, yeah, I'm open, right? I'm just letting him know I'm open. I'm open this way. Where it says, give and go, give and go. What does that mean to you? The intensity of my voice, I'm like, oh God, I see something else. Give it to me. That's a big deal. You just need to listen to that. So it's not about me. It's about like the next person. There has been times that, when Wataru comes, he's yelling, here now, like he uses something else. And then you pass the ball to him. It's great communication. And he's one-on-one with the keeper. Our outside players should be the loudest ones when we want to open the game. But sudden, not loud. Yeah, here, here, here. It's like asking for help for 20 minutes. And you just made the whole defensive line aware of where you are. It's more like, here, back post. You give it. You have 2 seconds. You don't give that pass, it's over. Does that make sense?
That's good.
Anything else?
Thank you, Daji. Good session.
Anything else? You guys might have a question?
One last thing I'd say for communication is if a coaching staff or any other players communicating something and it doesn't make sense, just bring it up. Because I know there's times on the field when at least coaching staff will be saying something and we might be getting frustrated because somebody's not doing what we're asking, but really it's because they're not understanding what we're trying to get them to do. So if that's ever the case, bring it up, because in all cases, there's usually a lot of people on the field that are thinking the same thing.
Exactly. And let us explain better. Sometimes we express something and doesn't work with your mindset the way you think, right? So when you bring that question up, we can open it up better for you. And just like Jason said, it's never just your question. Remember that. Your question is at least each question you're going to ask is at least 30% of the club. Even the dumbest question like, can I use the bathroom? It's the same question a lot of people want to
Grab
ask.
plates out for me.
During
You
the
need help?
Does that make sense?
That's good.
All right. One quick thing before we stop. The speed of passes, we're going to be touching that subject next Thursday. Probably not next Thursday because it's Christmas. But after that, in January, Thursday, I'm going to continue these. The speed of passes are critical. We've been trying to focus on that more and more with the older guys. Stop passing it so weak. Stop passing it because the competition in your practice is walking. Pass it like you're playing against the top level competition every time. That pass needs to go that hard. Even if this player cannot touch it, that pass that you give to this player needs to be hard enough that it's going to go all the way here. It can never be too soft and short. It's so easy to steal those, especially in your blind spot. Make sure that you remember that. Sorry, my phone, for some reason, whatever I said, thought that it asked me to, I asked him to play music. Anything else? Do you understand what I said there, though? If you have a question about that. So your
Yes, Coach.
pass needs to be driven hard, and unless you're setting somebody up for the next ball or setting somebody up for a shot so they can move forward to give that next ball, or you're setting somebody up to move in to shoot the ball. Those are different type of passes. You don't want to, like if I'm going to set Devin up for a shot, I don't want to give him a hard pass. If I want him to shoot, I want to just tap it to him so he can move towards the ball and shoot. Or I want Devin to open the game. I want to drop it to Devin nicely to open the game. But other than that, your passes need to be driven and arrive to the place hard. So one big point again, if we talked about today, how do we open the game? How do we open the game quick? How do we catch them off guard, right? So this is the problem that I see some of the players. One of you guys brave enough to say, hey, that sounds like me. Please say it so. So we open the game to this center mid. To this center mid. And this center mid gives a pass to open the game. Beautiful idea. But the pass is like 1 mile an hour. So what does that do?
Yeah, slows down the play a lot.
Allows the defense to slide.
Yeah, it kills the purpose. The defense slides now. So it's not different than you dribbling with the ball and letting the midfield slide that way. So that's why if you're going to catch him off guard, especially these balls, need to be driven and hard. And I don't want to hear some of our outside players, why did you pass to me that hard? You need to pass that hard to catch the other team's movement off guard. And if you get the ball hard here, control it and pass another ball hard to catch him off guard right here, like we talked about. So the speed of the ball is critical. And I talked to my Gala Pro guys. I'm a member to a lot of the coaches seminars and live sessions. And I watched these top level coaches in Europe having a meeting with each other, kind of like a roundtable meeting. And they talked about what makes an elite player. And if you ask a lot of people around here, like other clubs around here, they'll be like, your skills, your first touch, how you shoot the ball. But these top coaches said, like, what are the quickest thing they said? How hard they can pass it on target. The speed of play, how hard they can pass that ball to the player. That's what makes an elite player. We need to move the ball fast and catch the other team off guard. Imagine that's their number one thing when it comes to creating elite players. Consistent, hard, accurate, hard-driven passes. Think about it. They're not talking about your skills, your amazing goal you scored at Cash Park in 1984. Nobody cares. They care about, can you move the ball fast, and can you consistently do that? Okay, guys? So I hope that was helpful. I like these sessions. I know there's a lot of information. I'm going to stop this. I recorded this. I will post it, or I will share it with you guys soon. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys. Anything else you guys want to say?
That was really good. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank Thank you. I'll see you guys next month.
All right. Keep watching these, Mahmoud.
For sure, coach.
All right. All right. See
Bye.
you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.